Hello there, and thank you for joining me once again. And this time around I'm going to show you a couple more tricks that I use to make a more durable fly. This time I'm showing you how I make more durable hair wing flies when I use hair wing materials. I'm just going to show you a couple here this time. The first one is when I tie a caddis. So I've got some elk hair in this stacker here. I'm just going to even it up, and I'm going to show you this here. Okay. Now, as you all know, with a caddis, you want to get keep your tips even there. Now, I'll show you what I do. Most of the time, when you see a caddis tied, a lot of people, you'll bring your thread around, like so, and set the wing, and just make a few wraps around at that point, and then trim your head like you normally would, and then do a whip finish. But what I like to do is, what I'll do before I do my whip finish is I'm going to lift this front hair up in sections, the butt ends, and I'm going to take a couple wraps. Then I'll lift another bunch up, take a couple more wraps, and then the last bunch, and a couple more wraps in front of that. And then I'll trim my head like you normally would. Grab the butt ends here and trim them off, just like so. So I can get a hold of them here. And I hope you caught that. I hope I didn't go too fast for you there. But the idea is, when you're, instead of just making the wraps here between the wing and the butts and then doing your whip finish, I always like to wrap through those butt ends, and then you can come back and whip finish. It just makes that wing much more less likely to pull out or come apart on you. As you can see, I'm really wrenching down on that wing, pulling back, and it's not moving. Those hairs are locked in there good and solid. So then I just take my whip finisher. Of course, this is just an example here. It's not going to be as neat as if I was doing a fly, but then I'll just use my fingers here and do a quick whip finish here, a couple turns just to hold that. Just wanted to show you that process there, how I do my elk hair wings, and that can also be applied when you're tying a fly such as a stimulator. You can do the same things when you tie down the butt ends. Before you tie them completely down, instead of just wrapping them, go through the butt ends one section at a time, then wrap the butt ends up, then do your dubbing and hackle as you would. So there's how I do my elk hair wings to make them much more stronger. It's just one example. Okay, now I'm going to show you a little trick I do when I'm tying hair wing streamers. Okay, just put a little thread base down here. Now, say for example I have in the stacker some squirrel tail. This also applies to if you're tying any bucktail streamer, calf tail for the wing, for example, any type of squirrel tail, moose hair, anything, any hair wing streamer. So what I'll do is even up the tips here. I have some gray squirrel for the example this time around. Okay, and say I was tying my wing here, measuring it up. Then what I'll do, when I measure my wing up, I'll always, once I get the measurement, I'll trim those tips. I just find it easier to tie in that way than cutting the tips afterwards. Then what I'll do, before I place that on top and tie that in here, I take my head cement and I put a little drop in the wing butts, just like so there. Then bring it down on top, bring my thread up around, come down, pinch it on, come back with a couple of loose wraps, and then tighten it up, and then wrap forward. And as you normally would, you would build your head up on your streamer. And once that cement hardens on there, it's not going to pull out on you. Sometimes if you just wrap without reinforcing it in any manner, it can pull out on you very easily. And then I would normally just take my whip finisher here, come around, whip finish that guy off, just like so. Go, snug that down, and trim off the excess. Then of course I would put another coat, I would put a couple coats of UV bone dry on there also. But as you can see, once that hardens, that's in there good and snug. I'm really pulling on that nice and hard, and it's not moving, not slipping out. So that's a good method to use for using any type of hair wing, for a hair wing streamer that you're tying. And I have one more example here. One more thing I like to do. If I'm using, for example, calf hair on a wing, I just have some calf tail here for now. I don't have any calf hair right on me, so calf body hair rather. As you know, just bear with me here, folks, while I grab some hair here. I had some calf body hair, I thought. Now I can't seem to find it. Okay, I have it now. Okay, I found some calf body hair. I'll show you using that for an example instead. I'm going to trim a little bit out here. And say, for example, I was tying a wet fly. There's another little trick you can do to make it even more durable. Just going to throw this in the stacker real quick here. Okay. Okay, that's good enough for an example. It's not going to have to be perfect here. Let's get the short hairs out. Okay, now say if I was tying a wet fly that called for calf body hair for the wing. Now what I would do is the same thing, trim it. Another way you can do it, if you don't want to put that cement on first, let's get a little thread base down here. Tie that down. Now I'm just going to pinch that on the top, like so. And then what you can do is take your thread and come through the wing butts with your thread, a little bit at a time. A little bit more and a little bit more. Then wrap that down, nice and snug. And then do your whip finish. That's just another way you can tie in a calf body hair or calf tail, make it nice and strong. And then you would do your whip finish, then put the head cement on, and it'd be a done deal. So anyway, that's just 3 examples how to make hair wing flies much more durable. And I hope that helps you out a bit. And if you don't already know how to do these tricks, add that to your arsenal, and I think you'll make your flies much more durable when it comes to hair wings. So anyway, thanks a lot for watching once again. And if you haven't subscribed, if you consider subscribing, I appreciate that a great deal. And happy tying out there. I shall see you all again soon, and so long for now, folks.